Good morning, everybody. Today I'm doing a little video on the update of my garden. Today is July 8th and I'm in Alberta Zone 3, and we've had so much rain. This whole garden was underwater, so I have not been able to get out here to weed except for yesterday. I spent maybe an hour out here and tried to weed things I thought might be salvageable. So I do have a bit of corn there. I planted that from my own seed that I saved from last year. And I do have a few butternut squash plants here that do look okay. Not great, but alive. The onions, I do have a few onions there. And what I did with those is I just saved my onion from last year, the bigger ones, and just threw them in the ground. The radishes, you know, you might look and think, oh, there's something there. And if I pick it, oh, that one actually does have a tiny bit. But all the other ones, interestingly enough, had absolutely no radish on the bottom. They were pretty much just an empty, just nothing. Anyway, the tomatoes, you can see here, and like I said, excuse the fact that nothing has been weeded. It's been too wet to get in here until now. And even though it rained already this morning, I'm still going to attempt to weed a tiny, tiny bit. That's the radishes there. Again, pull a couple and see if there even is anything. And not exactly this lush, lavish crop that I had the other years. And you can see how the mud is just sticking to them because it's so darn wet. But I'll just leave them there. Moving on, I'll show you how pathetic everything is. This, I believe, is arugula or else Swiss chard. Again, I'm not sure what I planted. But that's the tiny little patch I did weed. I have to find it in here somewhere. The little patches every once in a while that, you know, that I'll be weeding to find. I do have more corn over here, and this is doing okay. I haven't weeded there yet. This was supposed to have been zucchini, and I don't have a single zucchini coming up there, so I gave up on that. I planted them twice. The potatoes, again, they're not doing very good at all. I did have about, I can almost count the pieces of lettuce. So, look, there's one there. There's a couple there, and a couple there. And then these were like the, kind of like that mixed green stuff, and it's already going to seed in a lot of cases, so it's not really doing very good. Next we have the peas. We put the fence up here to, you know, hoping that they were going to grow, but they're not doing anything. So the peas kind of are a write-off. We have maybe, you know, potential hope on one or two peas like here that are starting to climb, but again, they don't look that promising. And the beans are over here, and all the leaves underneath are dead, you can see, and there is a tiny bit of life on some of them. And again, I haven't had a chance to do much. These are the carrots right in here. And the grass, because this was all a field before, it's just taken over again. It's almost as if we didn't even ever have a garden here. You can see these are the other potatoes. Very disappointing this year, but again, I do have some hope, because in the odd spot I will have what looks like a potato that is still alive. but most of them are just gone. They're just dead and just done. This was all underwater for almost 3 weeks. So, you know, we're trying to alleviate some of that for next year. But this is the, I guess, the year of the flood, if you want to call it that. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more. Hopefully I'll be able to update you in a couple of weeks where I've got some of this weeded, and you can see if there has been any progress or if it's a complete waste of time. But I'll show you something else that I decided to do here. So on a brighter side, I did plant along the shed here, and I do have a few little tomatoes coming, so that's a bonus. And unfortunately, a lot of these are not really doing good. They kind of are rotting, and of course, nothing I can do about that. Little strawberries there, a few little pieces of garlic. Some of my flowers are doing a little nice. Little blooms here and there. Some of them are not doing that well, but you know what? It is what it is. And this is Maltese Cross. It seems to be doing quite well. A few little daisies, my little grape. It was doing good, but I don't know what's happening to the grapes here, but they are all pretty much not even going to produce grapes this year. They just went to almost looks like it went to seed. The monkshood is just starting, and usually this would be, you know, at least 4 or 5 feet tall. That fence, this line is 4 feet, but they're not even close to that this year. So I don't know. But over here, we did transplant all the raspberries and made that nice. And then recently I did, like yesterday, literally, I added some carrots in here and some lettuce and some radishes, hoping that this little area will, you know, grow something. And on this side, right in between the raspberries, I was getting quite worried when everything was underwater. So I did plant a few little potatoes, and I mean little, because they were ones we actually were throwing out in the compost from my seed potato. We had too much, but they are starting to come up. And I think we'll probably get a few raspberries, but nothing like we had the other years. And then the rest is just flowers. But anyway, it's kind of